So how long until you can see our new arrivals? Oh, John from John's Rainforest Room will be very happy. There is a bromeliad that was on its way out, I think, in a tub. So I'll put it in here, and the inhabitants of it. And here is one of the guys. That's right. Little neon day geckos. Phelsuma klemmeri. To be honest with you, that is a dream lizard for me. When I was a kid, these hadn't been invented yet, I don't think. I think they were only discovered in the early 90s. So these are absolutely gorgeous, and I'm a little bit in love. So only 2 people guess across all social media and YouTube so far, and both of them are wrong. Both thought it was frogs. It's not. It's these guys. They're amazing. I love them. This is footage when we first got them home. You can see they're a bit drab. I think they're a bit cooler than they wanted to be. They hadn't had the UV light. The colours really pop under UV, and when they've got enough heat, they're just absolutely stunning. Very small, very delicate. You can't handle them. I think there's a clip coming up where one's jumped on my hand and I absolutely freaked out. These are very much a look at. You can interact with them, having said that, I found. I love reptiles that I can look at and create cool little environments for them. I'm not into bigger reptiles generally that, that are suitable for handling. But these guys, they don't have any fear. They just come right up to you. You can do things in the viv around them. You've got to be careful because they won't get out your way. They will stand their ground and just, stare at you and be like, and what? Yeah, they're so cool. You can see one of them's moved off there a bit, utilising the basking lamp. And they love the bamboo in there. I've done a lot of vertical bamboo in there, as you can see, and I've got this one big piece sort of diagonally. A lot of people use vertical pieces. I don't know if I'm going to add vertical pieces. They do seem to like being on that one diagonal log a lot, so I might add some bamboo cane in for them. But here, with the UV on and the heat, you can just see the colours on them. They're absolutely stunning. A dream reptile for me, like I've said. I've got a few species on my to-get list, should we say. And these were on there, and they came up at a reasonable price. About 4 hours drive to go and pick them up. But worth it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm really happy with them. If you just look at the colour on the head, it's sort of like a green yellow that's fantastic, and then blue down the body. I think they're just one of the best looking lizards out there. And like I said, I'm more concerned about creating a little environment for them. I don't know, that's my bag. Sort of more what European keepers have been doing for years and years and years, and the UK, the US, I think are just catching up with this sort of bioactive, naturalistic setups. So you can see one of them was shedding pretty soon after we got them. Always good to see that they're growing. You might see in some of these plenty of poop. That is not poop there, that is dried Pangea, or I got some of the Arcadia version as well. So alongside the powder diets, they've also got fruit flies, which I've never really cultured before for anything. So that's a bit of an experience, having swarms of fruit flies. So there he is, still shedding on that log. So while we're looking at these guys, I'll just cover a bit more of them. So they're neon day geckos, yellow-headed day geckos. They go by a couple of common names. Phelsuma klemmeri or klemmeri. I'm sure someone can correct me in the comments below. They're a day gecko, so obviously they're going to need, your basking spot, your UV. Minimum tank sizes seem to vary. Some people say as small as 12 by 12 by 18. I think that's a little bit small. I've got these guys in a 18 by 18 by 18 inch. Exoterra, which has come with its own problems, as you'll see shortly. It's all bioactive, springtails, isopods, live plants. The temperatures, sort of basking spot is around 31 degrees Celsius. Or you can see one there eating his powdered diet that I've made up for him. And nighttime temperatures shouldn't drop below 19 really. You want your ambient in the day, I suppose. 22 upwards towards the basking spot. 60 to 70% humidity. We've got a spray system on this, so that's keeping it pretty humid in there. Oh, you can see the colours here, see, but no fear at all, just right by us. This is within hours of them being here, I think, or certainly within days. Incredible. They stay really small. I mean, these guys are probably about 2 inches. They're not going to grow any bigger than 4 inches. That's when he hopped on my hand, and I freaked out. You can see how gentle I was trying to get him off. You can't apply any pressure to them or anything. They're so small and delicate. You just got to be careful. Oh, look. I just think they're amazing. These guys can live up to 10 years, apparently. So hopefully I get to look at these little jewels for that length of time. I don't know what sex they are yet. They haven't been sexed at all. The breeder said they weren't old enough for him to do so. I've no experience of it, so I've had a look online. I've had a look. I don't know. I'm going to wait till they're bigger before I give it a proper go. So here's one of the little guys hunting. You see him. There's a load of fruit flies on that piece of bamboo. He jumps and they all just teleport out of shot. I don't know where they go. Just keep your eye on those fruit flies. They just disappear. Boom. Where they go. And he didn't get one. He'll catch one on a different piece of bamboo now. There we are. Perhaps it's one higher up. Yeah, he gets one though. You see him chomping. There we are. He's got fed. That's them on the fruit flies. Been dusting them. Calcium, Nutrabal is what I tend to use. So here we are. The problem with the Exoterra. I thought, great, this is going to be good. We'd seen on Clint's reptiles that he'd filled in a little gap in the lid of an Exoterra. So we did that before we started, before we put the guys in. And yet, they found little crevices in the front that they could get into. So these videos here, they are, you can see one of them in the crack. That's right at the front, just above the doors. And they both sort of went in there. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that, apart from it's a high traffic area where you're opening and closing doors. Terrifies me that I might close the door on them if they're there. And also, when we look at the voids, you'll see that there's little gaps in the corners. We were looking in from the top, and we could see them looking up at us. They never escaped, but we were really scared that was going to happen. Oddly enough, everyone goes on about the grill at the front of an Exoterra. We haven't had any problems with that at all. But also, that's an awesome little bit of video showing how bold they are. Amazing. So here's the lid to show you what we need to sort out. So there's essentially a void running around the outer perimeter of this. You can see we put some foam into the first bit. Just there. We need to put more foam in. But as you get to the corner, there's a bit cut out on the outer edge. So that's where we were looking down and actually seeing them looking up at us. If they could then fit into that void running down the sides, which is a bit narrow, they can get out there. There's just an opening where all the wires go in and out. And if we look, sorry, I had to just turn around. I was doing this with one hand, the camera. Yeah, so that's the void Clint would have filled at the back, which we did on our original one. This is from a different Exoterra that we had spare, luckily. So we can modify this. So here you can see we've just gone to town with a sponge and filled every void going. I suppose you could use like silicone or hot glue. We couldn't use silicone because we already had the guys in there. And we wanted to make sure they didn't get out at all ASAP. So we had some of this aquarium filter foam. So we just cut it, put it in, trimmed it once it was in so the doors would shut, but we wanted it snug so we won't get any further problems. We haven't had any further problems at all. Did feel a bit bad that we were like taking away their favourite hiding spot. So when we put the bromeliad in, they started using that for hiding because there's all the little gaps between the leaves. That was brilliant. If you like the look of these guys, there's some other species that you might want to look at, and they're not necessarily Phelsuma. There's other small day geckos of the genus Lygodactylus, I think it is. So there's Lygodactylus williamsi, which is the electric blue day gecko. Lygodactylus Conrai geckos. The males of them are like electric green, I suppose they'd be, or neon green. Very beautiful small dwarf day geckos. But these to me are the classic dwarf day gecko. I think they're fantastic. Amazing. Madagascan species. Not long known to science or described by science. Just beautiful. Sorry, this video has just been me rambling about how much I love them, but they are absolutely stunning, and I'd recommend them to anyone who's willing to put a bit of research in, a bit of effort setting up a naturalistic, at least maybe a bioactive vivarium for them. They're very worthwhile, they're very personable, and I'm very happy with my purchase. So I hope you've liked my ramblings, and please consider liking and subscribing, and as my stepdaughter keeps reminding me, hit that notification bell. I don't really know what that means, but if you could, I'm sure it would be very much appreciated. Thank you, YouTube. Bye now.